Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to lecture 2 of quantitative method. So today we want to look on sampling method. So sampling method is defined as the process of selecting study units. So in other words, we'll be selecting a sample from a given population, and a population defined as a collection of all elements under investigation. So the difference between the population and sample is that the population is a complete set, whilst a sample is a subset of the population. And also a population contains all members of a specific groups, whilst a sample is a subset that represents the entire population. There are certain reasons why we choose to take a sample rather than a population. The first one is the cost. It reduces cost, both monetary and staffing requirements. For example, pakati census year ya 2022 you find kuti zvinhu zvakarequaiwa zvakawanda, staffing requirements anga akawandisa, paidiwa matablets, mabhibhi zvakawandisa, and also you find kuti paida kuti maenumerators vese vagozobhadharwa nekuwanda kwavo, also transport yekuvatransporta kubva kunzvimbo dzavo vachienda kune dzimwe nzvimbo dzavainoita census yavo. Saka you find kuti zvava zvizvi zvaidhura rather than kungotora esample maybe in Harare, wongotora just a sample yevanhu in Harare, then wozongogeneralize kuti okay, so how many cities do we have, then they multiply by the cities voona a rough estimate. The other reason is the population size, because some population you find that they are difficult to enumerate. For example, tikuda kuita population yekuona maflies in Zimbabwe, so it's difficult, or butterflies in Zimbabwe akawandisa butterflies in Zimbabwe, so we just take a sample, a small area, rather than kuti tidai kuconcentrate the whole country, zvinogona kutiitira difficult. And also another reason is for time. It is time consuming to conduct a study of the whole population. So in other words, the survey reduces time needed to collect and process the data. Another reason is nature of the study. You find out that some studies involve destroying or killing elements. Zvekutoti maybe tokuda kuda kuita a study maybe yekuona kuti marets akamira sei mudumbu mawo, so you find kuti tichitouraya marets iwaya, tichitomauraya tichida kutaridza kuti mudumbu mawo, it's a study. So we can't do it as a whole population, but inogona kungoitwa as a sample. So we have two types of sampling method. We have what we call random sampling and non-random sampling. Random sampling is defined as, in random sampling, you can say each sample have equal chances of being chosen, and from the word random. And then non-random, not all members have equal chances to be chosen. So we have four types of random sampling, which are, we have a simple random sampling, we have stratified random sampling, we have systematic and cluster sampling. So simple random sampling is defined. Simple random sampling is only possible for populations of finite size, because the procedure involves coming up with a numbered list of all the population elements. In other words, we are trying to select a subset of participants from a population. Under simple random sampling, each member of the population have equal chances of being selected. So we have that example in part 2.1, which reads, using random number table obtain a simple random sample of 10 accounts from a population of 500 bank accounts. So which means toda kungoselecta 10 ma-accounts kubva population ine 500 ma-bank accounts. So the random sample yacho tinoita using our calculator. Tinoenda vane those macalculator masharp down, tinongoenda pabutton reorange, then you press second function, toenda that rakanzi random riri panumber 7, to press random. So if you press random, you find kuti ukazeti equals inotanga kuburitsira manumbers ainenge inobva yati random yoenda pana 0 tinya 0, inoti rand yobva kunyorera kuti random. So ukazoti equals inotanga kupa manumbers ekuti anenge achigeneratwa nethat. So pamanumbers ari kugeneratwa ndo pari kunzi isusu tikaona, because taudzwa kunzi maaccounts edu ari kufanira kutanga pazero first account yekutanga kusvika pa500, meaning to say tikaona manumbers achibuda pacalculator yedu ari more than 500, like for example apa vatipa mamwe manumbers like anana 664 and 627, tinomaignore. Why? Because haasi murange until taburitsa imwe number inenge yabva pacalculator yangotwa randomly choose necalculator yedu yangobuda ipapo. Saka manumbers edu ese anofanira kuita 10. So in other words vangozotipa that answer yedu pavati the sample would therefore consist of the 10 accounts. Ndo aya vatipa ma10 accounts, which is 428, 340, 362, 358, 259. So you find kuti hazvisi in order. Why? Because it's just random iri kuitwa necalculator ichitiburitsira machi manumbers iwaya. Random sampling, which is stratified random sampling, and is said to be an appropriate for large homogeneous populations, that is population in which study units exhibit similar characteristics. So in other words, we are trying to say it's a method of sampling that involves the division of population into smaller subgroups known as strata. So we have that example which says if a population is subdivided by income levels as low income, medium income, and high income, and income is an important aspect of the analysis, using simple random sampling will not ensure suitable representation of income levels. This is an example of a situation where we can use stratified random sampling. Meaning to say stratified random sampling inoshanda patinenge takuisa masubgroups, tichiona kuti no, the population yakakurisa iyi, maybe toda kuti tiite masubgroups ekuti tikaita kasubgroup aka kepopulation toita aka. That's when patino apply tinoti chi stratified random sampling. For example, they have that example which reads example 2.2, which reads a bank has 500 employees, of which 250 are stationed at a Harare branch, 200 at a Bulawayo branch, and 50 at a Gweru branch. First of all, management at the bank intends to select a random sample of 40 employees to participate in a study. How can management use stratified random sampling with proportional allocations to select the 40 employees? So you find kuti this type of a question zvavanenge vachida kutrya kuita, they will be trying to kuti vatore vanhu vaselect vanhu according to the number iripo. Zvakafanana tikatarisa isusu maemployees edu, yes, all they are 500, of which 250 tikunzi ari stationed at Harare and 200 at Bulawayo. So and then Gweru ingori ne50. So you find kuti kune vanhu vakawanda it's Bulawayo and Harare. So you find kuti it's not fair for us kuti titore varoda kuparticipate vacho tingotora zviri equally, kuti kuharare let's say 40 divided by 3, say totora kana kuti 13 kuharare, 13 kubulawayo, 13 kugweru. So you find kuti zvinenge zvisiri fair. Why? Because gweru ine vanhu vashoma, of which vanenge the proportion yatorwa yevanhu vanenge akawandisa as compared to Harare. So you find out kuti ndo patinoshandisa yatinoti stratified random sampling, where we'll be trying to do a proportional allocation yekuselecta vanhu vangani 40 vavo. So pasolution yedu we have the 40 employees will be allocated as follows. So Harare total yedu is 500, so which means for Harare branch percentage yatichatora or the proportion yatichatora yevanhu tichinenge takucalculate tichiti 250 yevanhu vekuharare over the total 500 multiplied by 40, tobva taona kuti no, 20 employees vachabva kuharare. Then toyo pabulawayo is 200 over 500 times 40, then we see kuti 16 employees vachabva kuchi kubulawayo. And then for Gweru it's 50 over 500 multiplied by 40, which is 4 employees vachabva kuchi kugweru. You find kuti izvi zvinenge zviri fair. Why? Because tiri kuchuza vanhu proportionally to the number of vanhu vanenge variko kuti vangani neuwandu hwavo. Saka kuharare tinotora vanhu vakawanda because you find kuti there are 250 employees, whilst kugweru totorawo 4. Why? Because kune 50. We also have another random sampling which is called systematic random sampling. So it is said to involve selecting elements at regular intervals from a sample frame of the study. The first element is the only one selected at random, while subsequent elements are systematically selected. For this reason, systematic random sampling is viewed as a quasi-random sampling method. This statement ringotiudza kuti when we are dealing with systematic random sampling, it's a system yatinenge inenge ichikontinya nayo, like tomboti a system yekuti toda kungotora every even number kuti patinongobata wechi2 ndiye watiri kupika. So it's a system inenge ichienderera mberi. So let's look at per example. So we have that example which reads, a bank has 2000 account holders. A random sample of 40 accounts is to be selected using systematic random sampling. List the accounts that would make up the sample if the first account randomly selected is 12. So the first random selected 12. So it means the first account tinoiselecterwa. Tinogara taiselecterwa taipiwa first account. So in this case our first account is what? Is 12. So question yedu inoda kuti list the accounts that would make up a sample. If kana first yedu iri selected is 12. So per solution yedu, you start by numbering your accounts from 1 to 2000, and the sample ratio is calculated as follows. That is the sample ratio in a formula inoti K is equals to capital letter N. Capital letter N means population over the small letter n, which is the sample. So in this case, tikadauta population per question a bank has 2000 account holders, which means the SMA account holders a bank is 2000, which is the population. The population yedu yes as a whole. So it's 2000 divided by small letter n, that's the sample. Saka sample yedu tauzwa a random sample of 40 accounts. So we have a sample of 40 accounts. Saka tobva tadivide 2000 divided by 40, tobva taona sample ratio yedu, which is 50. Now tichitangira tapiwa yekutanga kuti account yedu yekutanga is 12. Saka taakuti isusu paevery taakuedda 12 plus every 50 kuti tikuedda 12 plus 50 tikuti every 50th account tichibva pana 12 ndiyo yatiri kuselecta. Saka which means tikuti 12 plus 50 tobva taona 62, tobva tati 62 futi plus 50 tobva taona 112, 112 plus 50 tobva taona 162, 162 plus 50 222, 212, 212 plus 50 262, 262 plus 50 tichiramba tichidaro. So you find kuti it's a sequence, it's a system every 50 position tabva tatatangira isusu paaccount yedu yekutanga which is 12. Saka every 50 yatiri kuona patiri kukwanisa kuti yechi 50 account ndo patiri kubva tatpika that number. Saka ndo pane sequence iyo yatiri kuona which is 12, 62, 112, 162. Saka ndo zviri kubudiswa izvo until taricha pasample of 40 bank account, because tikuda 40 mabank account. Saka toramba tichingoedha 50 50 50 kusvikira abuda maaccounts edu ese ari mangani, ari 40. So far tangoita aya kubva from 12 kusvika pa462 ndo atabudisa maaccounts chete, but kune mamwe ari kumberi ese anofanira kuti atipe chi 40. Okay, after that we also have a random sample which is called cluster sampling. Cluster sampling is suitable where the population consists of homogeneous subpopulations or clusters, and within these clusters elements exhibit different characteristics. So what you have to know is that when you're talking of cluster sampling, it is just a sampling which divides the population into clusters, such as like my schools or my districts, and we have my advantages of my cluster kuti they are cost effective, they save money because tinenge tichidhila small population, tichidhila nekasample kanenge kaitwa randomly kachigroupwa into what we call my clusters. It also saves time, it is time consuming, so it saves time, but the disadvantage is that it is biased, because pakuchuza maclusters paipa unogona kuchuza because pakuchuza maclusters paipai unogona kuti mamwe maclusters anogona kuti wachuza tomboti kuti pane vari kuita sample uku vari kuitawo sample uku, saka imwe inogona kupresenta work uri kushanda nemazvo kudarika vamwe, so its biased. Uri mumwe anogona kungosarudza kuti andoda kuti ningi naningi vanoita that class, vanoita forma that cluster, saka inogona kunge iri chi biased. So that iyo yatiri kutaura nezvayo, it is categorized into three subgroups, which is the first one ingonzi single stage cluster sampling, two stage cluster sampling, multi stage cluster sampling. So we also have other sampling methods, like we have what we call the quarter. So quarter sampling, it is more probabilistic, where the researcher selects the participants based on specific characteristics. So it's more like a stratified random sampling. So another one is judgmental sampling. And by judgmental, the researcher selects units to be sampled based on their knowledge and the professional judgment. Saka paari kungojaja kuti ari kungoselekta vanhu nekujaja using his or her own opinions, kuti achingojaja or using his experience. Then we also have what we call convenience sampling. By convenience sampling, the researcher selected those elements which are easily accessible to him. Zvinenge zviri padhuze naye, maybe it's because of inonzi chiko, it's because of geographical proximity, kuti ari kungoona zvinhu zviri available panzvimbo paari, handika available at a given time. So you find out patori nedisadvantage yekuti that zvinenge zvitori biased, because ari kungotora zvinhu zviri padhuze nekuti zviri padhuze naye, or he just wants kuti reduce macost ake. So that sampling inenge ichinzi convenient sampling. We also have the last one, which is self-selection. For self-selection, the sample is selected by invitation, and the volunteers are called upon to participate in the study. So you find kuti this itoriwo futi bias. That's another disadvantage, kuti iti biased, because vanhu you select vanhu by invitation, kuti ndoda kutoti uyu auye kuti so that I will carry out my research, or utomusendera kuti please ndokumbira kuti uve part and parcel of what of my research. So after that, we have that summary, which summarizes everything zviri patopic yesampling method. Thank you for listening.